Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
God damn it.
What? What's
You
wrong?
just, I don't know. It's all
called
YouTube
acting,
stuff.
Adam.
It's acting. I don't know if you plan that out each time or you have a little different bit that you're gonna do before. So just we can never.
It's just it's a glitch in my brain. Can't do the same thing over and over.
It would have been great if when you did that jump towards your microphone, if you like just accidentally slipped and took out everything as you were doing, just.
A few minutes later.
Yeah, that's our best bit.
It is.
For
sure at this point.
Later. This is episode 180, and it feels like forever since I've seen you, Lowery. It's
been a long week.
It's been
That's
a while.
about it.
Yeah, it's been. I was in Florida, as you guys know from the last cast. You also went out of town for a little bit.
Yeah, went up to Brainerd.
Where'd you go? I didn't even know that you were going to go up there.
I didn't either. No, yeah, we just went up to Brainerd. Is like 2.5 hours north of the cities. Yeah. Rented a cabin on a lake and just
you guys, or did you guys?
Yeah, just us.
Nice.
And I just caught my son jumping off a dock for 3 hours a day. My shoulders are burning.
I was gonna say,
tired. They're so tired. I got swimmer's itch. We believe at this point that is, and that went to bed every night at 6:30 because my Elise is still in a crib, but we didn't, we obviously didn't bring a crib and we didn't bring the pack and play because she has a set of lungs on her that it's no point in just trying to put her in the pack and play. So put her in bed, lay down right next to her at 6:30 every day, and.
You're such an old man.
Yep. And then she just ran into. She was very abusive as well, so she just hit me for 2 hours. Normally we went to bed actually about 9:30, but if you took her out of the room, she'd just cry. She wanted dark, chill. So
going to bed at that time, what time were you guys getting up then?
6:30 a.m.
Oh, balls.
Yeah. Yep, that's the normal 6:30, 7 o'clock is when we normally wake up every day anyway.
Oh,
so,
man. See, I do the bad parenting thing where we keep our kids up late so that we can sleep in and they sleep in.
It doesn't work for us.
We even did in Florida. We went to Sanibel Island and went to low tide to go find shells and sunset and all that stuff. And then on the drive home, we had promised that we were going to take them to Putt. And Drake's like, you said we were going to go to Putt today. I'm like, it's freaking 9:30. We're not going to do Putt. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't know when we're going to be back because this is the second to last day we were there. Mm-hmm. I was like, they're probably not even open. She's like, well, they're open until 11 o'clock. I was like, God damn it. So then I made them promise that they couldn't whine or had to go home. When we went home.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Oh, no, there was a meltdown in the point where I call a 6-year-old a liar and then he lost it because I called him a liar.
I'm not a liar.
He lost his shit when I called him a liar because I was so mad. I was just like, you lied to me. You're a liar. You said you would listen when we got home. Take you to Putt. And oh, by the way, that Putt course. I know you. Did you see my Facebook?
I did see it. Yeah. I saw the double labia shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna tweet that out because then the people that the YouTubers. Actually, I'll put the picture maybe up on here as well. So if you're on YouTube, you can check that out. But the first hole, we're walking up to it, and there was 8, probably late 20-year-olds, early 30-year-olds in front of us, fucking hammered. I mean, it's 10, and it's a Friday, I think is when we were out there. Yeah, it was Friday, so they were just whatever, and they were losing their shit on the first hole. I'm like, what? So we're waiting in line, and I step up and I look, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, Cindy, look at the first hole. She looked, she's like, oh my God, it's a vagina. There's no way they didn't plan that.
That looks like a giant female, 12 foot, probably larger, but I mean, just dipped their labia in the grass and imprinted.
a camel toe type thing.
It was ridiculous.
Then we get to like hole 17 and they freaking have a tiger or a lion sitting there like a mole, it's a family thing. Yeah. And they had testicles and a fucking penis on it. It's like, why? Why is this even there?
Why not, though?
She's like, what the hell is going on? This is not a family place. It was, I
think they were thinking that it was like, since it's Florida, just like old people bringing their adult children to this.
Yeah.
That would be my thought.
So you can teach them the birds and the bees while you're putt-putting. I mean, you just get
I know I never had this discussion with you.
But that right there, son, that's a vagina.
That's a vagina.
And to get a hole-in-one, you need to go right through the middle of that thing. And seriously, that's the way you got a hole-in-one.
Is that what it was? Oh, my goodness.
Because it lined up perfectly to go into the hole. It was completely... one more story about Florida. So we have... As part of my work, I have real estate, but the other part of it is vacation properties. So part of the reason why we were down there was fixing up our rental because we've been there for a year and a half because of COVID. So we were, power washing, doing all this stuff. Well, in the meantime, we have a new owner coming on. So my mom wanted me to come with to meet the new owner in the house that they're getting ready to start renting out. I book it out for them. So we get there, and the neighboring house is one that we just got 2 months ago. So it's a brand new house. I've only seen pictures and renting it out. That's what I do. So I wanted to check it out. So the fence, it's weird when you're on a canal down there. They have the fences, 6 feet high so you can't see over. But when you get close to the canal, they drop down because you can't block the view of your neighbors of the canal. That's like the rules. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to check out this neighboring house, this house that I'm renting out for an owner and see how it looks in the back. So I start walking down the side and we have guests there. Well, the guests were banging.
Whoa. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I come around, I walk along the
like
fence.
In the backyard?
In the pool.
In the pool?
He had her against the wall and was giving it to her. And I just did I didn't make a noise, but I was just like, immediately just did not make eye contact and just immediately bolted out of there. And I'm just like, I want to tell everyone, but I have to keep my cool right now. So I waited. So we got in the car. I was like, yeah, that was interesting. Did you guys... They were banging next door. Mom's like, what?
I mean, it's going to happen. Yeah. Kind of.
So when I got back to our house, I checked to see when they got there, what the reservation was. They were there for an hour before they were doing that because we got there within their check-in time. I was like, damn, they wanted to get the poison out bad.
Did you message them? Be like, hey, just wondering how things are going. Are you liking the pool? And
I saw your wife examining the side of it very closely while you were kind of stepping back and going forward and stepping back and going forward.
No, you don't admit that. That's trouble right there.
He just wanted his perspective from a distance and close up as well.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's
I texted Cindy that, and she was like, "Ooh, sexy kind of." I was like, "Yep, that's." Oh, I do.
Guess you guys are getting a pool next week. Or?
We had, yeah. We had one at ours, but we just had too many kids around. So
yeah.
Why is everything sexual? This is
well, that's kind of our shtick.
So pound puppies. Do you remember those? No, not.
Yeah.
Remark childhood, pound puppies.
Yeah.
So we got Drake's into Legos, like I said, over the last couple casts, and we went to Target, and they both wanted. They collected dirt off the bottom of the pool for me after I power washed, so we got them a prize. Oh. And Drake got Legos, and Zeke got a pound puppy. Well, on the pound puppy box, it has their name, kind of like Beanie Babies in a way, but then it shows you all the different kinds of puppies you can get. And so Zeke's like, oh, my puppy's name is Spot, and then he's like, oh, there's Gray Spot, and there's Black Spot, and he's like, and then look, there's G Spot.
No.
He wasn't reading it. He was making up names with all these. he made up one of them as G-Spot. It's like, dude, you're the 69 kid. You're the one that's talking about the G-Spot. And then you go to a putt course. I think he's learning things more than I think.
Oh, he definitely is. He definitely is. You
so
gotta
those are
watch
my
it around the kid.
Those are my stories. Those are my sex stories from Florida.
Great.
It's wild and crazy down there. I will say that more people were wearing masks than when I was there a year ago.
Oh.
Which was surprising. But then we got back, and then I just saw a news thing saying Florida and Arkansas are the two states that have every single county with high-risk areas or something like that. High-risk transmission rates with the variant right now. So I was like, oh, sweet. I'm glad I just left there. But it made sense why there were so many more people wearing masks than when I was there a year ago, when it felt like that was the peak of when everything was going, you know? So it was just,
okay.
It was interesting. But that's our COVID talk for the day. How was your week and a half? You know, went up to the cabin there. Did you do anything else besides? Yeah. It was glorious. You got so much work done. Like all of a sudden you're like, hey, I got Curated done for the next 2. I'm like, what the fuck? Is it because I'm gone? Like you just getting stuff done early? You got the podcast done like 2 days ahead of time. 2?
Yeah. No, I knew I was going to be gone and not bringing the computer. So, I mean, there's a lot of funny stuff that I forgot that happened. So,
just remember that I had funny stuff. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I should probably write this stuff down.
Get a little thing in your phone and just write it down as soon as it happens. That's what I have a specific spot. Podcast stories by Adam Smith. All my stories have to do with trying to make you laugh is my goal. That is my main goal. Like Cindy's even on the lookout for it because she's the one that half the time it goes. She said the G-Spot thing. She's like, that's got to be on the podcast. I was like, yep, already wrote it down. What are you drinking then? What is your beverage?
Oh, this is okay. So this is Indeed Brewing Company, Strawberry Fields Sour Ale. That's pretty solid.
Nice.
It's nice and sour. It has good strawberry flavor. Pretty acidic. So I'll be done after
Not too
this
many of those.
second one.
Yeah. I just finished the weed whiskey, so I just finished that off. So I will be getting a new one.
A month straight of weed whiskey.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna try something different. The gout stuff, dude. We started doing like P90X workout crap, and I think that's actually helping a lot. I feel like because we're doing it daily,
like movement.
Yeah, because I've had knee pain. God, this is our old man fucking section right here. I've had knee pain for about 3 months now. No, but I seriously,
it's been a little bit at this point.
Yeah, it's been off and on hurting. But we're 2 weeks into the P90X thing, and I have no pain in my knee or my toe, and I drank a lot on the vacation. Not a lot, but, every night we're having a couple.
A lot. Yeah, I drank nothing, so.
Yeah, so I think it's helping, and for the first time in 2 weeks, for the last 2 weeks in a row, it hasn't hurt, like, at all, which is pretty sweet.
Very cool.
I'm hoping that's maybe helping a little bit with it, so we'll see if it continues. I think that's about it for my stuff. What are we doing today? No one even knows what we're doing today because we just
missed each
other.
Because they would have skipped right over all of that. But we're gonna do top 10 Commander cards.
I get the
top 10 Commander.
There we go. Just
so,
really quick.
but we're combining because we don't want to talk about a month of cards. We're gonna do
all of Dungeons
Adventures and all the D&D Commander set and the Standard set, mashing them together, doing a top 10, and then we're handpicking 5 of our personal favorites, me and Adam. So it'll be 20 total, but
honorable mentions because I would say our top 10 are these top 10, and then these 5 are the bonus.
Yeah, 5
ones.
apiece. Like you don't really have to pay attention to Adam's, but I got some solid ones. So
such shit. Mine are cool. Mine are fun. Well, one of them is just a fun card. It's not necessarily like a good card, but I think it'd be really fun
It's
to play.
definitely not a good card.
No, it's not a good card, but it'll be fun to play in Commander. We're having fun. So we got the top 10. We got Stump the Smith Savant, and that's pretty much it for today. We don't have
we're doing
much
Stump?
more than,
all right.
Yeah, I do have a Stump the Smith Savant from Matt the Monorock has given me another one. So we got Matt and AJ going back and forth. Which,
like in a pool or what?
They keep giving me stuff.
Cards. You're saying
Cards. Yeah, I
right.
gotcha.
Sex jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Backshadowing.
Yeah, back shadow.
All right. Well, should we get to this? You guys can support our show if you become a patron. $1 gets you into the Discord. It allows you to play games, although the summer months have been quite quiet because everybody's on vacation. Like, we just got back from vacation and all that fun stuff. But there are games that go on in the non-summer months, right? Yes. But that also will get you into when we get League going up again. I think we're only going to do that a couple times a year like we talked about. But $5 gets you the proxy each month, $5 or more. So it depends on your level and depends on all that stuff. We did just finish. No, this is the last week to become a patron to get into the Pick Your Proxy month, where you can pick any proxy that has ever been made from the proxy of the week. And that's $5 or more. And if you're $100 or more lifetime, you can pick any Pick Your Proxy month is every month for you. And if you check out YouTube, you can see Lowery doing all these awesome little charades as I'm doing it. You'd be really good at charades, I would think. No? All right. And you're still not going to talk. So YouTube is also the free way to support the show. So even if you want to just jump on YouTube to listen to the podcast, that's how you can see us now. You can see the cards we're talking about, see all the little things that we're doing here. YouTube is a great way to help support the show, especially if you go on there and and Lowry's all right, penis, vagina. All right, so that is, if you go on there and like stuff or watch stuff, comment on stuff, liking is probably the very first thing would be subscribing. Next would be liking our stuff because that helps spread the word of our videos. And videos that are made each week besides the podcast are Curated MTG, which was what last week's Lowery on Thursday. What was that one? Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm going to ask you.
Oh, what was it?
It was the one that had that glitch where it went up to, it was
approaching. We had almost 800 views,
yeah.
and now it's down just over 600. Yeah, it dropped like 200-300 at that point.
YouTube took away our views for.
It was a good card, I tell you that. I'll tell you, it was fantastic. Well worth.
I got it.
800 views.
You know what the problem is, Larry? Is then I throw up the tag of the YouTube on our cast. So you need to. Okay, it was Retreat. It was Retreat to Korahome.
Oh, it was. Yeah, that's a good card. I like that. That's a good choice. Yeah, so it was a infinite landfall combo. Whenever land enters the battlefield, you can choose to untap target creature, or maybe even says permanent, but a creature. And then you're choosing a creature that taps to put a land into play, and that land that you're putting into play is a bounce land from Ravnica, which you return that back to your hand, and the trigger of Retreat, untap your creature, do it over and over and over, and then you want to add that with some other landfall, like a bunch of token creatures or Obnixilis, draining 3 life from everybody. And so it's kind of a cool combo card, great value card just in general. But nobody wants to watch a video about great value in general. So,
well, even if you didn't do the combo part, that scry ability is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, so it can scry. It can even tap down creatures. So if you have a bunch of lands coming into play that turn, you can just tap down creatures that are problematic.
And this would have been our third curated hitting 1,000, but YouTube robbed us. So the way to make those videos go over 1,000 is check them out when they come out. And the big thing there, watch them,
and then when it glitches, watch it again, so that we get that vote potentially.
But the liking is the thing that keeps it going. So that's how you spread the love on the videos, especially on the short videos like Curated MTG. Another weekly video that we do on YouTube is Proxy of the Week. Did not do one last week, because I was out of town, but the week before was Yavimaya and Urza's. I don't know what I'm doing this week, but it'll be something, and it'll be live at some point. I don't remember what day I'm going to do yet, so there's that. Other videos on there, like I said, we have box openings. We'll have some battle boxes. I've streamed a couple of our games live. We're going to probably start doing that a little bit more as well. So that's the free way to support us. You can also check us out on Twitter, where you will see all those videos as well. We post them there. You'll see Not Sharing with Adam. You'll see Lowery's switcheroos. That's what we should call them from now on. Yes,
no.
yes, that
no.
just came up. Yes,
no.
Your switcheroos.
Hashtag switcheroo.
We'll get so many people that think it's something else.
Yeah, they're gonna think it's something from like Dunkaroos and stuff like that.
I was thinking like the Houdinis, like the sexual switcheroo.
Go outside the window, wave.
Yeah. So
hashtag MTG switcheroo.
There we go. Larry's switcheroo.
Switcheroo is a card, pretty sure.
Is it? It probably
Yeah.
is. I could search it right now, but I don't want to. But yeah, so Lowery has been what have you been doing? You've been building a deck, or are you switching?
Like it's a deck that's upgrading,
Yeah.
and so like I have a handful of cards, and I'm just like not liking the deck as much as I could, and trying to figure out how to make it better. And so
are any
I
of
take
those
out cards, add in
because of a new set coming out, and you're switcherooing them?
Not yet. I've only really worked on 2 decks so far. I've worked on Kenrith and Alayla. And so they are just more like, I don't like how they flow, and so I'm trying to fix that a little bit. And so I take out cards, make it more efficient, or try and make it more powerful, or try and make whatever I'm having a problem with it, like make it feel better. And so I'm just kind of posting updates when I'm switching decks out, switching it in, and when I feel good, I'll update the deck list and post it, just so everybody knows what I'm even working with and looking at. So you can always make comments on Twitter about it if you like it, if you don't like it, if you think I'm getting a little wonky or becoming too competitive.
Suggestions for stuff.
Yeah. Yep. If you think you like a certain card in Kenrith, Alayla, or whatever I'm working on, that's always nice and helpful and good discussion too.
So that is Switcheroo. It's got to be the name. MTG Switcheroo.
I'll write it down.
Switch. Roo. All right. So that's Switcheroo. And then also on Twitter, if you're on there, that's the other place that we do our giveaway stuff. So like Guy last week when we gave away the prizes for the Salty 64. If you're following us on Twitter, you will also be eligible for when we give out cards and prizes and stuff like that. So also direct message us there, or you can shoot us an email at gmail.com. And by doing that, you can also give us suggestions like for Stump the Smith Savant. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right, if you don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Larry's going to try to guess what the card is because he is the savant. I am going to try to stump him. Actually, this week it is Matt the Monorock is going to try to stump him. He is going to ask yes or no questions. Every yes, he will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Starts off with 100 points. 100 points don't matter. Points don't matter, but every wrong guess is minus whatever. It doesn't matter, but it's just fun stuff. Fun stuff. All right. Like I said, this week, Matt the Monorock gave this one, so here we go. Infinite ideas flow through the multiverse, waiting for an open mind. All right. This is from the Biblioplex, an introduction.
Okay, so
Infinite
the
ideas
Biblioplex is from
Strixhaven.
Strixhaven. And is this a blue card?
Hello, boobies.
All right. Knowledge, stuff like that. You just kind of. Is this from the special set?
Mystical Archives.
Yeah.
Hello, boobies.
Okay. All right. So blue cards from that. Is it an X spell?
Wrong, wrong,
Okay.
wrong, wrong.
Okay. Is it 6 mana?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Reread, please.
Infinite ideas flow through the multiverse, waiting for an open mind. The Bibleplex of an introduction.
So I don't think it's counterspell. It's a drawing. Is it drawing cards?
Hello, boobies.
Yeah. Okay. Is it brainstorm?
Hello, boobies.
Yeah! Good job. Way to go, buddy. That was good.
So I was thinking the X spell one was going to be Blue Sun Zenith.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 mana one was Mind's Desire.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't think of them that quick, and then got to brainstorm. I felt like it was like a card advantage drawing type thing, so it made a ton of sense.
And Matt said just because who it was by the Bibleplex, he's gonna figure it out because of that. So he kind of gave that little drop
it
to
gave a good
I wouldn't have
reference point.
I would have put that together. I wouldn't have realized. Oh yeah, that's only in Strixhaven. Look at you, Mr. Savant. All right, I can end that music there. All right, so that was a quick one, but that's fine because we got a lot of cards. We got a lot of cards to talk about. So why don't we get into this?
Top 10 Commander cards.
It's a good
It's good
opener.
to actually have the button
Yeah.
instead of me just doing
The same thing here.
We have new cards to talk about every other month, and I don't think I've heard that in 6 months. So
Well, I did it when I sent the Zoom invite to you. I was like, oh shit, I got to get the top 10 Commander card things. So I was pulling the buttons up. All right. So we have taken a bunch of cards and narrowed it down to 10. We fought for cards. We died for cards. And then we have listed this from 10 to 1.
Okay.
We're going to start off with 10 and work our way down to 1. So it's a mix of basically all the D&D stuff, and I'll kind of give a little, I don't know, is this a little foreshadowing or spoiler? I think a majority of these are from the Commander product more than the actual set, wasn't it?
Well, I think we should state that.
Yeah.
If
Well, I don't
it's
remember
from the
which one
Commander
is
product or
which.
not.
I guess I have to look at the symbol.
This first one is going to
Is
be
from the set.
Yes, from the set.
Okay, why don't you start us off with that one? Or did you want
All
me
right.
to do it?
No, I can do it. Whatever. All right. Demolich. It's blue. Skeleton Wizard. 4/3. This spell costs blue less to cast it for each instant or sorcery spell you've cast this turn. Whenever Demolich attacks, exile up to one target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Copy it. You may cast that copy for free. You may cast Demolich from your graveyard. Huh? Oh, maybe it's not for free.
It's not
because
for
it doesn't
free.
state it. So you still got to cast it.
Yeah, you got to cast it. Yep.
Ugh.
Does this get kicked out of our 10?
No.
This is why we put it to 10. Because when I was reading it earlier, I was like, yeah, it's not free casting, but it's continuous. So the third part, go ahead.
Yeah. And you may cast Demolich from your graveyard by exiling 4 instants or sorcery cards from your graveyard in addition to paying its other costs. I mean, it seems
It's
like
in
a
a blue
cool,
deck.
aggressive. Yeah. You're going to be drawing cards probably at cheap cantrips. Kind of work with this. Maybe it just got kicked off of the top 10 for me. Like not being able to cast it for free, like that kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
that gets a little tough. But
And the casting cost is really rough.
is there a copy it? You may cast the copy. Yeah, I guess you're only doing the one. The reason why it's fucking $18 right now.
Yeah. It's probably played in some sort of constructed, like Modern or whatever. Can we see that?
Legacy and
not.
Standard have some play, not a lot, but we're so confident with our number 10. I'm glad it's number 10 and this wasn't like number 5. And we're like, why is this that?
Well, we were kind of going through our lists and we both agreed on this, but then like we got halfway through and we're kind of like skimming through cards. I was like, okay, Demolich is number 10, right? You're like, yep. So
I guess the thing I like about it is the recursion part, being able to play it from your graveyard. I guess you got to get it there to be able to do that, but then you're also exiling 4 instants and sorceries
if it dies.
The nice thing, it has to attack, so that's the part you get to copy spells that way. It has some stuff that can be done with it.
I can see myself putting this in Calimax. I'm probably not going to. But, like, being able to recast those cantrips to, like, re-go with Calimax seems kind of cool. But at the same time, like, 3 blue mana's... 4. You know, it's 4, but really in that deck it's going to be 3...
Well, if you think about it this way, if you're casting enough like 1 and 2 spells, it could come out for free, you know, in that turn. You're casting, drawing cards, doing other things.
But I mean, like, where are you wanting to play like 4 instants or sorceries and still have? Then you're able to randomly cast like a 4/3. That's fine, right?
Well, I guess my only spot for this is what is my deck? The dragon, the red green.
Niv
Mizzet, red blue dragon.
Yeah.
So that one I cast a lot of drawing spells and all that stuff, and I could see this maybe fitting in there because then they're copying.
And you're already getting to the 3 blue for Niv Mizzet Perun.
Yeah.
And so I can see that fitting in there, and this allows you to continually like cast cards from your graveyard. I like that there too. So I don't like it doesn't not fit in places. But well, is it going to survive? Yeah, it's number 10.
Let's call this 10, and maybe our honorable mentions fit in this spot better. It depends.
I think I like every single one of my honorable mentions better than Demolich. That's just my opinion.
I probably like 3 of mine better. All right, let's move on to number 9. Extract Brain. It is 1 blue and 1 black and X. Sorcery. Target opponent chooses X cards from their hand. Look at those cards. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the most, you're having to pay, if they have a full freaking mid of cards, you know, you pay all that mana and you'll get to cast something for free.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do it then, right?
Yeah, not at that amount. But you get somebody that's holding on to their, I don't know, Cyclonic Rift or something like that. I think at that point, if they had the mana, they'd cast it. But you're going to try to play their best card, and it doesn't matter what it costs for you. If it's like a freaking 10 or 11 drop, let's say it's a Blightsteel Colossus sitting in their hand. If that's the only card in their hand, you only have to tap 3 and you get to play that card. You had a good point when we were discussing this card beforehand. What was the point that I thought was pretty interesting
so
politics-wise?
If you can just be like, hey, does everybody agree we need to get rid of this card? Does anybody have a card that can deal with it? And they're like, yeah, but it's too expensive. I can't cast it right now. And you're like, okay, I can cast it for 3 mana. You go like white, blue, X. They show the 1 card that's going to remove your problem permanent. And then you cast it for free and do it. So I think it could be used as a political card. I think the casting for free is awesome.
Unlike Demolich.
Yeah. Womp womp. So I think a little bit of a problem now that I'm thinking about it, because it's not play, it is cast. So if you went like
they showed you a land,
just nothing can happen.
Yeah.
So like that'd be nice if it did say play, and then you can like take that land and put it into your battlefield. All right. That could be kind of cool, but not the case.
At the same point, like if they have 3 cards in their hand, you're not going to just pay the 1. So you're going to try to hit something. If they only have the 1 card, well, then you're seeing if they're bluffing, you know, if they have something in their hand or not. I think this could be used.
Is
quite
that
a bit.
is that the right mana cost right there? So like 5, so 3x and blue black. They show you 3 cards, and then you're just gonna
Casting anything
cast
for
something
free.
from that. You're hoping
Yeah.
that you're hitting their whole hand or at least most of it. Like, do I want to be paying 6 for this? Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
But paying 5 and
seems
4
like
and hitting people that are thin on their hands seems right.
Think of this like I think any part of this game, this card works. You know, that's I guess a lot of times when I look at cards, I try to analyze, is this a early game card, mid game card, or late game card, or does it hit all 3? This could be good in a lot of spots. Like even in the early game, maybe not being able to get all 7, because if they have a full meta cards, it's a lot. Like you're saying, you're not going to have the mana to do it. But if you're able to get 4 or 5 off of that, 3 or 4 or whatever, you could hit something big, especially it's big early game, because they don't have enough mana to cast their big stuff. You know, you get those in your hand in the beginning of the game. Or if it's mid game or late game and they're holding something like the surprise, I'm going to win the game card, they only have a couple cards in their hand. That's all that's left. Teferi's Protection's left in their hand. You wipe it out of their hand.
Yeah, if you're able to get rid of their game winner, like that Craterhoof Behemoth, and just waste it, or the Cyclonic Rift, and you're just like, bounce that 1 card.
Yeah. So I think it could be interesting. I think it's probably going to get used. So, yeah, it hits our 9 spot. So what is our number 8?
It is going to be Klauth's Will, and this is a pretty cool card. It's X, red, green, instant. Choose one. If you control your commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Do I got to read the... Breathe Flame. Klauth's Will deals X damage to each creature without flying. And Smash Relics.
I think that's with destroying like artifacts and enchantments, if I remember what
Smashing, yeah, that sounds right. Destroy up to X target artifacts and or enchantments. So it does seem like it could be a little expensive, but the instant speed seems really good. And it's doing a lot. You can wipe out a lot of creatures.
You got 3 different things. You got creature removal, artifact, and enchantment removal all built on the same card.
Yeah.
At instant speed.
And I feel like the instant speed part makes this well worth it. I'm definitely going to be trying to fit this into some decks.
Daryl's going to love this one.
For sure. That's going to get so many things.
Yeah.
Because Daryl sticks around.
Right. Well, no, Daryl has doesn't have flying, so it hits without flying.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hit flying creatures. But the thing of that, I do it for 3, which is 6 mana. I kill off all the zombies.
Yeah.
I hit Daryl for 3. He stays alive. And then I wipe out 3 artifacts or enchantments.
Like, and you're drawing X amount of cards depending on how many zombies are in play.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty damn solid. And it's at an instant. And that's exactly how I built the Daryl deck, is it's all instant speed stuff, so that if I don't... If the part of the reason that, and I don't want to get into detail, but I think I did it when we did the spotlight. Part of the thing with Daryl is at instant speed, I want to have removal that if those zombies I just gave to somebody come at my face, that I can just remove them. Well, if they do what I want them to do and attack other people, well, then I have like ramp stuff that's instant speed or other things that aren't destroying. So this card is going to be for sure in my, what did we call it? Switcheroo. MTG.
I think that's
switcheroo.
you calling it, not a me calling it.
When you see that, that's Adam MTG switcheroo. Yeah, so that is our number 8. Number 7 is Rod of Absorption. 2 and a blue for an artifact. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, exile it instead of putting it into the graveyard as it resolves. That's pretty sweet. Kind of kills Spellslinger decks unless you're the Spellslinger. Oh, but the next part makes it awesome. Because you can tap X and tap it, sacrifice it. You may cast any number of spells among cards exiled with Rod of Absorption with total mana value X or less without paying their mana cost. So you're removing your spells, you're removing their spells, you're throughout the game, and then at any point you can be like, all right, I tap 7, and I'm going to cast this for free, this for free, this for free, and this for free. You know, it totals 7 or less. It just seems pretty damn sweet.
So this
I like
is
card a lot.
This is like the much better Demolich. That's how I see this. Like, you're getting opponents' instants and sorceries, yours. It's not a creature. You don't have to attack. You just have to, you're still paying the X spell, which is the mana amount that you want to be casting. But like at the end of a game, you might have like 6 to 10 spells underneath this, and you could just like tap out, cast whatever you possibly can, and start doing your magic.
Yeah. Ooh.
And so I think this card is really, really cool. Again, I'd put this over Demolich any day in just about every deck.
And that's why it's at number 7. Wait,
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7. Yes.
It is 7.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. So we move into it. The thing is one more thing with it is it works for you as a spell slinger deck if you wanted to, or you can just do it as you're not being a spell slinger deck, but you're shutting down, not necessarily shutting down, but you're taking advantage of other people's spells being cast.
Yeah. I mean, just think of like if somebody's going like, okay, I'm playing this turn 3 and you're just ahead of a green player, and they're like, cultivate Kodama's Reach, and you're like, okay, well, next turn blue gets to ramp. Like,
right.
This is a blue card, like goes into blue-white or blue-red, and allows you to ramp with those green players, exiling it. I mean, the card is, people are going to be playing good spells. You get the removal spells that you need.
So that's what I wanted to preface it is like that this doesn't need to be in you don't have to be playing a spell slinger deck.
Yeah.
If you're playing blue, this should almost be in most blue decks because it's just,
I think it can be
going to
considered.
get advantage. Yeah. All right, move into number 6. It's you.
I don't want to do it.
Wait. Shit.
No, I'm good. Grim Hireling, 3 colorless and a black, tie flying rogue.
Wait, did you get tie flying? Flying? No, it's not even a.
It's a 3/2.
Wait, what's funny is Ted sent us the thing again, and I don't remember what it was again.
No, it's Tiefling.
It's Tiefling. Is it Tiefling?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Tiefling.
Tiefling. I like TIE Fighter.
I like tie flying.
Tiefling. Tiefling?
I know it rubs a lot of people the wrong way, so it's just enjoyable. Just enjoyable to say it. All right. Why is this card here? It is whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create 2 treasure tokens. So if you deal,
you could hit 2 players, you get 4. You hit 3 players, you get 6. But you can't hit them with more than 1. I mean, you can. You just don't get more.
Yeah, it's just
you just have to
per
hit different
creature
players.
per player.
Yeah.
Not per creature, but
that in
it's
itself
per
would be
player.
sweet. But there's a second part to this.
Then you can pay a black, sacrifice X treasures. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery.
Activate the sorcery kind of stinks, but it's still removal on a
It's
stick
still
with using your
removal.
treasure. Yeah.
Yep.
I
think it's sweet.
Yeah. You don't have to be a treasure deck. This can just be in your deck, and you're attacking and doing damage. I mean, this... I don't know if I'd necessarily... maybe. I was going to say... Would it go in my Eureka deck? Because I'm dealing damage, getting treasures, and I have removal a little bit. So that kind of maybe.
I think that works. I think that works a lot. I just really liked it as a general ramp card for black. Being able to, if you're just like, okay, I'm a black deck, and I'm like, I'll probably try and fit this into a Layla because there's flying, and you're able to at least deal damage to 1 to 2 players per game, and so it's a black ramp card, one of the better ones.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask something about the? Why isn't it a devil? Is that something with the tiefling guys? It's a red chick, I think, with horns. Why is it not a devil?
Because.
Got me. You got me.
I got to deal with these questions with my kid all day. I'm not going to come here and deal with it. I'm sorry. Just going to give you because, or that's the way that God wanted it to be. Whatever. I know you're not going to accept
yeah, I'm
that.
not going to
though.
say that. That's the way that science made it. And that's how I have to say it to my kids. All right. So, do you actually say that? Is that what you say? That's
Sometimes,
the way God, do you really? Nice.
I started this week where he's just like, why? Oh, what?
Oh my God, dude! Wait, just wait. I can't go 10 minutes driving without wanting to blow my brains out because it's just like, no, not like that. But they're just like, question. I'm like, oh my God, stop! Just question. I'm like, Jesus, stop it, please. It's when they're old enough. We have both of them though going.
Yeah,
That's the
I don't
best
want
part.
that. I'm just gonna.
And they're at the 8. Your two are at the same age as the difference of my boys. That it's gonna be. Oh, you're gonna love it.
It's brutal. That's why I have to have those like statements of like conversation's done. I can't go further than this, and that's where like God comes in.
Comes in. Nice. I like it.
Why do flies fly? Well, it's just the way God made them. It's just
see, and I do the because, and Zeke goes, that you can't use that. That's not a real answer.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yep.
All right. Druid of Purification, 3 and a green for a 2/3 human druid. When it enters the battlefield, starting with you, each player may choose an artifact or enchantment you don't control. Destroy each permanent chosen this way. Pretty sweet. Great removal. You're at least going to get to pick out the biggest threat to you. If everybody else is smart or isn't bitter, they will also choose. It doesn't say up to, does it? Each player may choose an artifact. May. So they don't have to.
Yeah, it is a may.
So they could get butthurt and be like, well, I'm not choosing anything.
They could.
Yeah. So, by the very least, you're getting rid of the biggest threat on the battlefield, and it is not a cast, so this has a flicker effect with it as well. So that is our number 5 card. Anything you want to say?
I like
about
it. Sorry, I was making notes because I've been clicking off of the pages and not saying, we haven't been saying what is from what.
Oh.
So Demolish is from the standard D&D.
Good point.
Extract Brain is commander set. Klaus Will is commander set. Rod of Absorption is commander set. Grim Hireling is commander set.
Druid
of Pursuit.
Commander set.
Perfect.
That's what I was
commander
saying.
set.
It's all commander set.
And then
the next one isn't though. The next one's from the
it's not.
The set.
Yeah, the
number
top.
4.
So, but yeah, I like Druid of Purification. Yeah. Got it. All right. Number 4, Circle of Dreams Druid. Green, 2/1 Elf Druid from the standard set, and you can tap this. Add green for each creature you control.
I feel like I want to trade with you like a Keldron Warlord or something. Would you be down for that? That was a nice middle finger.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
So this is the guy's cradle.
Yeah.
If you didn't realize
and
that.
if you're a newer listener, as in we haven't done the joke as much in the last 6 months. But the first year or two, every podcast we pretty much brought up Gaia's Cradle.
So when we were kids, Adam traded me a Keldon Warlord for my Gaia's Cradle. And he ripped me off and took advantage of me.
I still have the card to this day. It has Lowery's musk on it. It's very nice. About every other day, I'll pull the card out and I just.
You missed me, huh?
That's what I did when.
How many times did you do that during COVID?
You don't want to know. It didn't just go in my nose.
Oh boy!
All right, so this is our number 4. It's pretty straightforward. This is going to be used a shit ton. The 3 green is what holds it back a little bit, but I think it's still going to be used a lot.
I think you still try for this in 2 color decks.
Yeah, 3
for
sure.
Sure.
A little tough, but if it's in green, if you have green mixed in there, sure, why not?
Yeah.
All right, we get into the top 3. These are these are high hitters here. Each one of these we had at the number one spot at one point when we were discussing this. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Each one of these three, we were like, all right, this is the number one. And then we kind of discussed more and then like, oh, this is the number one. So without further adues, number 3, Guardian of Faith. So right away, this was our first one that we were like, oh, this might be the number one, kind of. And then we kind of worked it around. But this is 1, 2 white for a Spirit Knight 3/2. It has Flash and Vigilance. The reason why this is good is because when it enters the battlefield, any number of other target creatures you control phase out. So it's kind of like a mini Teferi's Protection, but more so...
I think it's more like Eerie Interlude, where you're able to like choose target amount of creatures, and those blink until the end of your turn. Whereas this is it phases out until your next upkeep.
Eerie Interlude is better in a way because it's like you get that blinking effect, whereas
the ETB effects,
and it comes back in. Where the reason why this went to number one at one point when we were discussing precast, we don't have unsnipped at this point until. Whatever these are the ones we should be doing that. I think you've said that before.
We did, but it didn't help.
Yeah, but this was at number one for a bit. But then we both made good points of like, once you do this, it phases out until your upkeep. So if that player attacked and you phased out your stuff, you still have 2 other players to deal with if they were the first person after you. So you're all open and all that stuff. But it does save your creatures from board wipes. And all that kind of stuff, but
or if you are being attacked, you can all out block and then phase out anything that's going to die.
Yeah.
I think it's still really flexible.
I still think it's really good. It's just not. Teferi's Protection is 1
crazy good,
and then this is maybe like, not even a 1A, B, or C. This just moves down to like 3 or 4. Like there's some other cards that are in between there that I put. Ahead of this, but yeah, this is a very good card, and this is from the actual set and not the Commander. Did we say that with the other one?
From the standard set? Yes, we did.
Yes. Okay. So another one from the standard set, and then our number 2.
It's gonna be Hellish Rebuke. 2 colorless and a black instant. Until end of turn, permanents your opponent's control gain. When this permanent deals damage to the player who cast Hellish Rebuke, sacrifice this permanent, you lose 2 life.
That could be pretty damn brutal. And this is from the Commander set.
Yeah.
This being instant, being able to... there's just so much that could happen with this. You could have somebody that's attacking with a bunch of little tokens that just
where it doesn't
damage.
kill you and it can deal double to them.
And it's not like they can sacrifice it before it happens. They get sacrificed and they lose 2 life from that. So
well, they can they can't it gains that ability.
Right. So it gets around indestructibility, it gets around hexproof.
I think they can still, cuz it's a trigger. So the trigger would be it deals damage to the player, then
they can
the
sacrifice it, but you know what I'm saying, like they can't like the sacrifice part, they're still losing the 2 life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they can use things to sacrifice it, but what do you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
When this permanent deals damage.
If you're not sacrificing it to this triggered ability, I don't know if you lose 2 life either.
No, you wouldn't lose 2 life. If you sacrifice it some other way, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we're on the same page.
Yeah. So then the other part of it is it isn't combat damage either. It's just damage. Yeah. So if somebody's tapping to deal damage and then you play this, you're covered that way.
Like, shit.
Yeah, I mean you got.
Even if you feel like somebody's gonna come in and kill you on lethal, you can just be like, okay, I'm gonna cast this. How about like you could kill me and they'd still have to sacrifice because those creatures gain that ability. So it's not like your spell is still on the stack and they wouldn't get wiped. So they would still be sacrificing and losing 2 life to try and kill you, but they also might just think again and be like, well, maybe I don't want to kill them this turn.
It'd be really funny if you did that. It'd almost feel like a waste. Like your spell did nothing, but it kept you alive. Is what the point of that is.
Yeah, and it'd be like a bad fog at that point, and maybe they send in stuff that they don't care about. So like,
there's some fun things that
but
could happen
this
with
could be brutal.
Yeah, for sure. So that is our number 2. Moving into number 1.
Commander set.
Yep, Commander set there. And this one is from the Dungeons and Dragons set proper. Treasure Vaults. Wow.
Yeah.
Artifact land. It comes into play on tap, so that's kind of nice too with an artifact land. Tap it for a colorless. Or you can tap XX, tap it, sacrifice it, create X treasure tokens. This is just a fucking good card. It's good for Magda. It's good for any deck. It's good for 1 color, 2 color, 3 color, 4 color, 5 color decks. You can use this card in. It should just go in nearly every deck because that treasure token, especially if you have recursion, because that's kind of a big thing. Sacrifice it, get those treasure tokens, bring it on back, and keep doing it over and over again. This just seems like a really solid card. So right away, Lowery, what you were like, this is number 1, right? And I'm like, how about this one? And so this was what it got moved around. It hit number 3 at one point, hit number 2. But yeah, we finally settled on this is just going to go in a ton of decks.
Yeah, I think this goes in my Oscar deck. This goes in your Magna deck. This goes in my probably my Glen deck. This probably goes in like just because it's an artifact land.
Right.
Well, I mean like maybe, but this will go in my Essex deck because it's creating the tokens, and so it gives me that chance to be like, okay, I didn't draw any token makers. I'm just gonna tap out and make X amount of treasures, and they turn into, Rashida and Footpad, and everybody sacrifice X amount of creatures, or permanents, whatever.
Well, I think any land recursion deck, any stuff like that.
If you just run Crucible Worlds, you might just like running this.
Yeah.
If your deck cares about the amount of artifacts that are in your deck,
right.
Like like going back to Oscar, like I could sacrifice this, create treasures, and then use Oscar's ability to bring back 2 of these.
Yeah.
Then do it
do
more.
it again and again.
Yeah, like that just seems awesome.
Yeah. This early game, good, gives you a land, doesn't come into play tapped. Mid game, good. Yeah. You could frickin' just be like, all right, I need treasure token. I need this color mana. I'm playing a 3-color deck. I'm missing this mana. Let's tap 4 and get 2 treasure tokens so I can cast whatever next turn. Late game, you just sacrifice this bad boy for a ton of treasure tokens. Like there's just it's a great card.
I think it works in like instant speed like control decks where you're like, I'm going to hold up everything, counterspell anything that nobody played anything that I want to counterspell, tap out treasure vault, tons of treasure tokens.
Well, like even what you were just saying earlier about it being an artifact type decks, because it's an artifact land itself, and then when you're doing it, you're making more artifacts. So it fits in with what's his nuts, Urza Lord High would work with this. I mean, there's just a lot of things that you can do with this, and the fact that it actually comes into play untapped is a very big plus to this.
Late game, you're like a land, drop it, get your treasure tokens.
But
like
I think this would be still good if it came into play tapped. It wouldn't be as good. It probably wouldn't have been. It would not have been number 1, but it would have been still a card that would probably see play. So, okay, that was 10. That was our top 10.
That's good. That's 10.
Let's.
Do you want? How about? Should we just do like? You get to do your mentions.
Are we gonna go like?
What are we doing?
Quick through it or no? Because
no. We just discuss it.
We were gonna do it, but then I was gonna type up mine because I don't have them all pulled. Hang on a second.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay.
I got my first one pulled up. If you want me to start there. Speaking of treasure tokens, I have also picked Zorn from the set proper of Adventures of the Forgotten Realm. It is 2 and a red for an elemental, 3/2. If you create 1 or more treasure tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional treasure token. Treasure tokens are now basically in every single... They are in every single color at this point. Green got the most amazing one in this set, and that actually would probably be my number 1 card if we included legendary creature stuff.
Yeah.
This just makes more of them. Fits in Magda. It's just a good card. We had this I like better than our number 10 at this point. My only holdback was how many decks are playing with treasures. They continue to make treasures more and more in each set. At this point, I feel like it's becoming more common, and it's not just a tribal thing, and that this can be included in a lot of decks.
And it's and when you brought it up, it was a card that I liked, but like the problem I have is like it doesn't. There's no way for it to do a treasure token.
That's its only downfall. Yep.
And it's cheap because it's like red 2 colorless for
a 3/2.
For a 3/2. So yeah,
and it's an elemental, which is a tribe that can be used, but not necessarily for treasure stuff. It would have been nice if it was a dwarf. I'd like it.
Yes.
Because then Magda would like it.
So I think it's a solid card though.
All right, what's your first honorable mention?
Yep. No discerning order. I'm going to go with Winged Boots. It's colorless blue equipment. Equipped creature has flying and ward 4. And it equipped for 1. So it's kind of like a Swiftfoot Boots, but instead of haste, it has flying. And instead of hexproof, it has ward 4, which is
it's almost like that. Yeah. I mean, they can still kill it. They got to pay a lot to kill it, though.
Yeah, like Swords of Plowshare for 5. That seems bad.
But if it's a really bad creature, they're going to do it. But still, the evasion added onto it is really nice. It has the same,
I don't think this is it's not as good as Swiftfoot Boots, especially with
the haste. I love the
being
haste.
Blue. Yeah, the haste is so good.
I mean, if you switched out ward with haste, I would love that. I mean, that would be
flying and haste for that'd be good. Yeah, I don't know.
But still, I think this is another tool to that. I kind of am a little disappointed it's just blue, but I understand because that's what gives you the flying part.
Yeah, and so if they do this for every color, I'd be down with that.
Question mark?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with like ward, but like the green one has trample, red one, first strike.
Yeah.
You already got a haste, but if you kind of did that and then they all had ward something, I'd be down.
All right, my next one, I'm going to do my fun one as my last one. So my next one is going to be Hurl Through Hell. We had a little bit of discussion beforehand on this one. It is 2, a black, and a red for an instant. Exile target creature until end of your next turn. You may cast that card and you may spend mana as though it were any mana of any color to cast that spell. The reason I like this, it is a little bit higher on the spot removal aspect, but I liked the fact that of being able to potentially steal it. At the very least, you're just exiling something, not just destroying it. Your point was it's just creature instead of having like some of those 3 cast spot removal spells. They do give you choices between like creature or what? Something else.
Yeah.
I think the reason why they popped it up one more with this is because you could potentially take it, so this mid-late game could be really good because you could take the biggest threat that is hitting everybody, and you have the biggest threat at that point. So that's kind of why I like this card. Do I see playing it black and red?
It was also a bit expensive for me.
For 4.
For 4. So like not being able to, so even like Hostage Taker, which is black, blue, 2 colorless, 2/3, when it ETBs exile a creature or an artifact, and then you can play it.
I like that card.
But yeah, Hostage Taker, if it dies, it goes back into play for them. So like they both got their downfalls, but I think Hostage Taker is just way better because you can hit. You're like, if you just go Hostage Taker with 1 mana open, steal somebody's Soul Ring, way better. And then you can blink it and abuse that ability. Whereas this is just like a red-black spell that doesn't have a whole lot of recursion ability, or there's not much that's going to be able to copy it. And so it's a very fair, expensive card, in my opinion. But I get what you're saying about like stealing it. That does seem sweet. I have to find that like sweet spot of.
That's the main thing that got me with this one was the being able to take that threat and use it for your own. And
so it kind of has to be I think it has to be in that like 5 to 7 CMC realm.
For what
where
you're
you
taking.
like, yeah, because it's not worth it to like. You're pretty hard up if you're exiling a Wood Elves to get a land, right? That next turn, like you don't want to do that. But
you know, what if you're, well, no, I was going to say Mother of Ruins, taking out the Mother of Ruins, taking it and using it for yourself, you know, things that are protecting, not necessarily the biggest threat, but things that you could use on your side. A Mono Rock or something, if you're down on that, you don't necessarily have to take the target.
You mean a creature?
Out. Yeah. Mono Rock is in the creature tapping. Sorry. Like,
I wouldn't put this on like a Birds of Paradise.
Why not? Kill those fucking birds. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
Depends. If you're
but
playing
it just
like
seems like a lot.
The potential of stealing something I like. And I liked that from Hostage Taker, but
But I think those really high end cards, like you were saying, like with Blightsteel Colossus,
it's gonna be tough.
Like, I don't think you're casting it, so it's like fine for an exile spell, but I don't think you're.
You get around that indestructible, which is nice, but
yeah,
the casting. That's at the very least you're just getting around that part and exiling a creature. All right, your next. This is probably gonna last longer than our top 10. Maybe we should go a little faster because we're more talking.
Where are we at right now?
Your second, honorable mention.
We're in hour 5. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about,
yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, I thought you meant like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
What
Fiend Lash, colorless red equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has reach. Whenever a equipped creature is dealt damage, it deals damage equal to its power to target player or planeswalker. Equip is 2 colorless and a red. This is like a build a stuffy doll. And so, but it has to, it's for its power, not necessarily for the amount of damage that it's dealt. But like goes great in those enraged decks. It goes great in kind of stuffy doll, harsh mentor style decks. I just really like it. I have a couple decks that I want to play it out with.
Cool. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think that might have been my least favorite on yours, maybe, because
that's from the Commander set as well.
Yeah. Nethereyes Puzzle Ward, 3 blue enchantment, Focus Beam. It has a beginning of your upkeep. Roll a D4. Scry X, where X is the result. Perfect Illumination, which is whenever you roll a die's highest natural result, draw a card. I just thought this was good. For scrying wise, you're rolling a D4. You have a 1 in 4 chance of hitting a draw with your scry. It seemed pretty decent. At the very least, you're scrying 1 at the beginning of your turn each turn. It's not amazeballs. That's why it's not on the top 10. But I thought it was a decent blue card that sits on there.
I think it'd be solid in the roll if you're rolling dice more than just it.
Yeah. Well, it does say whenever you roll. The drawing.
That's
part,
what I'm saying. If you're doing it more than just that card. So in a vacuum, it's just like the scry part I would concentrate on.
Because I play Thassa and I play Bestiality, and both of those have the scrying ability at the beginning of your turn. Those are kind of nice. I like that those, you don't have to pay anything. This has the potential to scry 1 to 4. At the very least, you're scrying 1. I like that ability. Maybe a little better if it was a 3-drop like those were. This is a 4-drop to get out there, but I think it's a decent card. It's not going to take the world by storm. It seems like a good card to have, but blue has a lot of draw and stuff like that anyways. Ooh, that fucking Commander Legends Sphinx would love this card.
Could.
Anytime you scry, you draw. This is totally in that deck. But anyways, all right, your next one.
I'm gonna go with Loyal Warhound, colorless white dog, 3/1 vigilance. When it ETBs, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for a basic plains card and put it on the battlefield tap. Then shuffle. This is a White of the Night Orchid. It's easier to cast. don't necessarily love the stats. Like, it feels like it dies to everything, but still works in a Blink style deck. Still, if somebody goes turn 2 Rampant Growth and then it comes to you and you're like, well, Loyal Warhound, land, and you're right up there with the green player. This seems easier to cast for sure. This is from the standard set, and I like this card quite a bit.
Sounds good. No, we just need to move fast. Now I'm like, we're taking just as long. I'm talking too much with that stuff.
You're doing great.
Reckless Endeavor is my next one. 5 and 2 red for a sorcery. Roll 2 d12s. One result is it dealing damage to each creature, and the other result is how many treasure tokens you make. This is gonna be good for Magda. Being able to potentially board wipe with this. The 7, what is it? Brass's Bounty is what we talked about. Brass's Bounty is the same amount of mana cost, so this will definitely be in that deck. I don't know if it replaces that or just goes alongside it. It just seems like a good card to have. Because the thing is unless you roll double high, you might screw yourself and wipe your own board. But you know what I'm saying? Like
But I mean, if you're dwarves, you're going to wipe your own board.
Yeah.
You better count on that.
If you hit a 1,
then you're not killing anybody else's creatures. Then might as well just.
It's more for the treasures. I just want treasures, Lowery. That's all I want is treasure.
I get that.
Gold. All right, you're second to last one.
All right. I'm gonna go with Teleportation Circle from the standard set. 3 colorless white enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target artifact and/or creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. I don't think I realized it said artifact before. I like that a lot more now too.
Mm-hmm. That's why it makes it a little better in a way than Conjuring Closet.
And so it's Conjurer's Closet. It's the new Thassa. It's kind of in addition to a lot of blink effects, and I like it at 4. I plan on trying to fit this into definitely a couple decks. Good.
Good. All right. Last card for me. This one's my fun card. It's not good. It's whatever. It just seems fun. 1 red, 1 colorless. I have a lot of red cards in here, don't I?
You do. I have a lot of white.
I love red. Enchantment. When it enters the battlefield or an opponent loses the game, exile the top card of each player's library. During each player's turn, that player may play a land or cast a spell from among the cards exiled with Share the Spoils. And they may spend mana as though it were any mana of any color to cast that spell. When they do, exile the top card of their library. It just seems like a lot of fun. People are going to play lands off of it. They're mana screwed, or maybe they're going to play spells. Who knows? But you at least get the first choice to play the first spells. But as soon as you do that, then you have to exile the next top of the card. Is it each player? When they do,
whenever
exile
they
the
do.
top card of their library. So you may cast somebody else's.
Yep.
But you're the one, whoever casts is the one that keeps replacing it. So, or plays a land. So it seems like a fun card. That's all I have to say about that. What is your last card? Because I just think it's fun. It's not necessarily a good card.
I'm glad that you're looking for fun. I am not a fun person.
Yeah, I know
fine.
you aren't.
The Book of Exalted Deeds is what I'm going with from the standard set. It is white.
It's
Why
banned
are you
already
booing?
because it's
in Arena.
I know.
That is it. Legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. Then you can pay white. Tap it, exile the Book of Exalted Deeds.
Why do you say it like that?
White. Put an enlightened counter on target angel. It gains you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Activate only as a sorcery. What? No, it's sweet. Okay. Hold on. So the reason why this is banned in Arena already is...
well, yeah, you're not going to hit that in Commander, though.
Well, you got 2 options.
Yeah.
Because you have Mutavaults
100
as well.
cards.
Mutavaults. But also you can just have, a life gain deck with those cards. I think it's I think it's fun to go for that. Okay,
Well,
so
say what the reason is, because that is the reason why it's banned.
There's a snow-covered land that taps, and it's a changeling creature, and
It's
so
like
you can
fearless something or something weird.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, but you can pay white, tap it, exile this, and then put that you can't lose, they can't win token on that land, and then it counts even when it's not a creature anymore. The token doesn't go away. And so you need land destruction to beat that person, and a lot of people on Arena aren't packing that. Like, there just isn't any way to deal with that unless you have instant speed removal when they're doing it. And I kind of want to do that in a game.
Yeah, there's a little too much with that, but yeah, I mean,
But I think this can go in my my Omnath deck. Like, whenever you landfall, gain 4 life.
Face,
and then create a 3/3.
Haven is the card.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to look for.
So, I mean, like, I think it's kind of fun, but it's a little out there. But people like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
it's like
I get to have
share
fun.
the spoils. We share the spoils.
Yeah, I totally agree. My fun
I
card's
don't think it's
decent. Yours is shit.
Oh.
So, you just like shit fun cards. I'm sorry.
Cool story, bro.
You're just pushing buttons to overdo my voice.
Good for you.
Yeah, great. You know I can shrink all the noise on your side so they can hear me, right?
That's why you guys should check out YouTube. Forget the podcast. Go to youtube.com and check out the CommanderSmiths there.
That's really why I'm pushing. I'm trying to get him away from you, Lowery. Stop listening to the podcast. Go to YouTube and I'm just kidding.
I mean, it makes sense.
All right. That's not bad. That's not bad for being a week and a half away. Should we end this podcast? I don't even know what we're freaking doing next week. We don't have plans.
We don't have plans. We're fucked.
What are we gonna do?
How about you make a deck finally? Want to do
Gonna
Chatterfang?
make Chatterfang a set and a half
fucking
ago,
sweet.
basically. Yeah, I could maybe do that. I'm not gonna make it that quick.
You can't. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can't make it that quick. But I do want to make that one that I talked about when we did the commander stuff, the goading guy, the one with the eyes and shit.
Oh, the red-black one?
Yeah, I think that'd be
that
fun.
seems sweet too.
Yeah, so.
I think there's a lot of cool cards. You just got to pick your spots on this one.
Yeah, I'm interested. I don't know. I haven't heard if the commander set, the one that deals with the dice, if they gave you each dice. Did you hear anything with that?
No, I haven't heard anything. So I doubt that you get it.
Yeah, this was by far, and this isn't shitting on the set. This is, take this 10 times out of 10 over a core set. This I would take more than a core set.
I mean, last year's core set gave us Teferi. I fucking love Teferi.
But there's always just like a couple cards in that, and this gave you a lot more, and everything else is reprints. This at least
lot
was
more
like,
flavor.
Yeah,
a lot of really cool cards.
So I dig this a lot more. But yeah, this was probably our quietest, and it is also the summer, and that's the other thing too. But very quiet on Discord with people opening compared to Modern Horizons 2, where it's like, look what I got, look what I got. It's just like, holy shit,
and it looks
oh
gorgeous.
God. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Sega.
I love boobs. I'm talking
your
tatas.
beer.
I love boobs. I'm bumpers.
Oh, double fisting.
I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.